Hi, everybody, and welcome again to the For Life Grow Daily Wellness Series. I'm here with Dr. Bennett, and the topic that I'm discussing with him today is something that we all, most of us, love and that we have been eating for so many years. And just recently, there has been a lot of studies of what is doing to our bodies, what it really is doing inside. So not only to ourselves, but to our children and even our animals. So let's just stop for a second and ask Dr. Bennett about why sugar and simple carbs are poison. So Dr. Bennett, this is going to be a hard one for me because I really love dessert and yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So what is your take on this one?
Well, it's real simple. The quantity of sugar in the Western diet and the quantities of foods that are simple starches that are readily metabolized into simple sugar is probably the most abundant thing in our diet. 200 years ago, our ancestors had very little of this. Their foods were raw foods that didn't have concentrated sugars in them, didn't have a lot of simple starches in them. Yeah, rice has been around a long time, potatoes have been around a long time. But today they're eaten in excess, they're abundantly available, and they're cheap, which causes them to be overconsumed. And so a number of my medical doctor friends have said, and I certainly agree, that sugar is the new tobacco. It is subsidized by tax policy. We produce a tremendous amount of high fructose corn syrup, and they'd like you to believe that it's just another form of sugar, but it's not metabolized like sugar. Fructose is metabolized like alcohol, and it's harmful to the liver for that reason. And there's just too much of it. And in the gut bacteria look at this simple sugar as a fast form of energy, and it encourages certain less desirable bacteria to overgrow and to perturb, disturb, and disrupt the microbiome. And I know it's going to be hard. I know these words may be somewhat heretical to a lot of people, but if you're interested in health and wellness and longevity, we're going to have to curb the carb and sugar addiction. And I add carbs like white rice and potatoes and white bread and popcorn in abundance because it's quickly metabolized into glucose, which then is a simple sugar that has all of those consequences on the body. Not too long ago, some scientists came up with something called the glycemic index. That is the extent to which that a food will raise blood sugar. And this scheme was developed to help diabetics limit their sugar intake. Because a lot of foods are very glycemic, but they don't appear to be. White sugar, of course, very glycemic. But a potato? A bagel? Doesn't seem to be glycemic, but it is. And so what they have done is they've looked at the potential of the food to raise blood sugar, and they've looked at the typical portion size and added those numbers up in such a way as to create an index. And the recommendation is that we eat foods that are less than a 10 on the glycemic load, the total load. And you can get access to this schedule by Googling glycemic load and then select the listing that comes from the Harvard Medical School. And they will give you a fairly comprehensive list of foods. It's not as comprehensive as I'd like to see, but it'll help you get an idea of what kinds of foods have a high glycemic load. Now, why is that important? Manage blood sugar. Why is that important? Well, keeping the blood sugar down lowers cholesterol, lowers blood pressure, lowers the potential for metabolic syndrome and all the consequences of that. We used to think that fats in the diet raise cholesterol and raise triglycerides. It's not true. It's sugar that does that. And unfortunately, the sugar industry had a very successful propaganda campaign to convince us that fats were the bad thing and that sugar's okay. And that's why you saw a lot of low-fat foods. But if you look at a lot of low-fat foods, they're high-sugar foods. And so what can a person do who needs to be eating things on a regular basis and to avoid foods of a high glycemic load? Fruits, nuts, vegetables. And there are some protein bars that 4Life makes, and there's some protein powders that you can make shakes and smoothies, all of which provide some nutrients for the body without adding to the glycemic load, without adding the poison sugar to our body and our microbiome.
Excellent, Dr. Bennett. So those are some great choices, and we'll be doing some more videos on some recipes later on. I don't know if Dr. Bennett will be doing the recipes, but I'll try and get him to do some of his recipes. So thank you, everybody. Until next one.